RWBY Beyond. All of it. This is... I actually don't know what these are. Like extras, episodes, shorts, something... You know what? Like I just said, I don't know what these are exactly, so let's just watch them and then share my thoughts afterward. Are you ready? Let's go!
It was stormy the night the case file came in. I've never had a file turn my stomach quite like this one did. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was yesterday. Dude, come on. I'm sorry. Accuracy is important. Team RWBY is missing.
Junior detectives!
And John too, I guess. Thankfully, no case is too tough for the junior detectives.
Oh my god.
Excuse me. Our first step was obvious. Interrogate the suspects. Witnesses. What do you remember? Tell us.
Pretend this is Rin.
It can be done. But I'm happy to cooperate and aid your investigation to the fullest extent that I'm able to. But like always, pulling information is like pulling teeth. Did you not hear what I said? The story checks out. Next! I already told you. I wasn't even there. Plus, I don't talk to cops. You two are. Ow. No, it's me, remember? On to the next.
Carrie does a good crow.
I told you to stop calling me a perp. Do you even know what perpetrator means? Of course I do. And for all we know, you are the perpetrator. Guys, not even Osmond and Oscar know what happened to them. We were told not to fall, and they fell. Then we are lost. No leads. Leadless. We engaged in spirited debate, squeezing our genius brains of every last drop of detective juice. I'm so dry. We almost gave up. Until...
People like grapes.
I've got it! Nice. I mean, what is it, fellow detective? Headmasters. Professor Osmond. Oscar. And Professor Theodore. Yeah, sure. You could say that it makes sense that the two are meeting up a lot. They are in charge after all. But something just didn't feel right. They kept taking lefts. Who would do such a thing? Using our ultimate self in disguise skills, we were able to follow Oscar and eavesdrop on their meetings. We were shocked. Startled even. Wasn't just Oscar and Theodore meeting up, but Winter and Raven. Two maidens. Even more interesting, a mysterious girl was there too. Could she be the summer maiden? I already told you, there's no way. Besides, there's no more room on our suspects board. No more new purpose. But then, before we could really hear anything juicy, well, you showed up. Yeah, and we told you the whole story, and now you're all caught up.
Oh,
Angry? Oh no, please spare us.
Crow! Oh my gosh, this is so cute.
Well, I guess the location of Team RWBY and John is still a mystery. I just hope they know we haven't given up. And I hope they haven't given up either.
Nah. Well, that Junior Detective episode was really cute, and I do like that. This is again more story about stuff that I guess was happening while Volume 9 was happening. Stuff that we probably won't get to see in the actual volume, but still nice. Nice to get these little like side stories and such. And Raven's here. She's like, oh, it's just so. I'm just happy. I can't wait to see what she does. And wait, there's a mysterious person. Is that a hint? A hint. I think they're hinting at someone. And then we have all the impressions that Carrie and Michael were making. Like, they were doing so good. This was such a good little funny, silly add-on that, again, it's like bringing a little bit of RWBY chibi back. I know, like, the Junior Detectives started in the original show, but the Junior Detectives, like, expanded in Chibi. So it's so cool to see that. Like, come brought back into their Junior Detectives schemes brought back into the main story. All right, now on to the next episode. So this is a.
This is the very first entry in what I guess is about to become my journal. Just feels like something you do when you want to keep your daily life in perspective.
Miles.
And now that
John.
I'm young and old and young again, it's not always easy to keep things in perspective.
Huh.
No, I lost it for a little bit there. But being back with my team helps, even though things aren't the same. Bryn and Nora have their own thing they're working through, and I'm not the same boy they knew. I'm the rusted knight. Nora loves reminding people of that, by the way. They usually just look at her like it's some kind of inside joke they're not a part of. These days, I'd rather forget.
Yeah.
I guess I was the rusted knight, but the rusted knight wasn't really me. Who is Jean now?
Yeah, Jean's got a lot to deal with now. He's literally lived a life.
And how is that journal going? I haven't quite started yet. Soon though. It'll help. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel like anything will. Don't get me wrong, I'm not unhappy to be back. I just feel out of place. Like I've left the world by and it's done the same.
Believe me, I know what that's like. I've been the subject of a couple of fairy tales myself.
You mean Osmond has, right?
Of course. If you're not sure where to start, I do have a suggestion. If you'd like.
Sure.
Think about the good times. What little they might have been that you spent in the ever after.
Just focus on the positive.
No, not like that. It might be able to help you remember what it was all for. And rewrite the story in your own way.
The good times. I remember Alex and Lewis. Those early days of getting to know each other were magical. It's like I was living someone else's life. For me, the secret that I knew a little of what was happening to all of us was exciting. Lewis was a puzzle, since he wasn't part of the story I knew, but he figured out really quickly I knew more than I was letting on. We compared notes on remnants. Oh, they couldn't believe I was from the faraway future. I couldn't believe they were from Vacuo.
Wow.
Back before the war. Before Huntsman.
Right.
I remember the first time we tried to shop at the Garden Acre. They didn't have days of the week, so they invented one. Splatter Day, just for us humans. You know, for a while, they ended up having Splatter Day every day because they didn't understand. But every Splatter Day, there was a farmer's market. Only, instead of buying produce, you bought farmers.
Oh, that's so cute.
We would roast things by the fire every night.
Gosh.
But it was those campfires I remember most. Lewis writing everything down in his journal. A story he'd one day tell. Help lead my friends to me. In those early days, every night around the campfire, when I tell them my story, my adventures, they always seemed so amazed. Which was weird because it was just my life. Mistakes I'd made. And the times I'd gotten lucky. It was like having my team back. People around you who make you feel more than you are. Or maybe they see you in a way you can't see yourself. It's the same kind of warmth that a good fire brings.
Oh, that's old Nora, Rin, and Pyrrha.
It's a good meal. I see those campfires all across Vacuo at night, and I wonder what people are sharing, what they're building, the hope they're stoking, and what they'll be saying when this is all over. I guess maybe there's something to this after all.
Perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think we're gonna make it?
Around that campfire, did it matter?
No. No, I guess it did.
It's nice also to get a little more into what Jean's going to be dealing with and how he's going to grow. Now Ospin's helping him now. Oscar Ospin. It's actually crazy to think about like how much Oscar has grown and matured because he's slowly not becoming himself anymore. And yeah, that's a heavy episode. And the acting in it too, Miles, really good, and some it's crazy. Like getting that pure reminder too is crazy now because it feels like it's crazy that she's like, again, how long she's not been here, how long she's been gone. It's that kind of like, and for Jean, gosh, thing I think about, for Jean, it's been longer. Like it's been years, like decades even, away from those memories, those lives. I mean, he's definitely like suffered with it, and he definitely like struggled, and he didn't exactly like move on, I should say, in the ever after because of those years. He more doubled down on his experience, his life, his things he wanted to become, which is kind of sad to see after his on the road to recovery after volume 6 and 5-ish and all that. Like after volume 7, when he started to finally become his own again and start to move forward, I should say, to have volume 9 bring him so far down back into what he could do, and now he's back young again, but he feels, he's basically an old guy now. Gosh, that is going to be so wild to see his story in volume 10. I'm really curious, like, now where volume 10 is going to start with these RWBY Beyond parts. Like, are these RWBY Beyond parts going to be added into volume 10, or are these like side stories that we aren't going to get to see? I really kind of hope like we at least get some of Jean's story in like this part, at least in volume 10, and a little bit of the junior detective sort of thing. I would like to see that in volume 10 because I think it would be a great it's like the junior detective one was a very like funny, silly one. This one was a very kind of somber, very low for Jean's side of things, where he's now having to adjust per se. It's kind of like in a weird way, Jean feels like almost like a veteran coming back home after being in a battle for so long. But it's more, I wouldn't even say it's like a veteran. It's more like maybe not even an addict, but it's like that kind of same kind of problem where he was struggling with something and he's finally gotten somewhere. He's taken a step. Now he's just taking another step. So I'm curious to see what's with Jean. I'm excited to see what Jean deals with in the future, in the future coming volumes, and how he deals with it. Because again, he's a very different. He's going to be dealing with something very different than. He's been separated from his team and such too. It's like he's almost no longer a part of Juniper, in a way. It's like Rin and Nora have their own situation that they're dealing. And John's got his own situation. Like, they aren't almost even a team, which is really kind of sad. I kind of now I'm looking forward to see when Juniper actually gets back together and such, because I also want to see that reunion with Jean, Ren, and Nora. I want to see that the most, honestly, for him, because they I wouldn't say they were lost without him, but they were definitely like he was a part of them. So yeah. All right, and now on to the next one, episode 3.
Deep in the branches of the great tree stood a somewhat brave creature, ready to start a new journey with their trusty steed, Juniper.
Aww.
I can do this. I can do this. We can do this. Together, we can do anything. They were right to be somewhat nervous. Having a new purpose can be tough, and this was an important one at that. Let's go! You see,
The
things
adventures.
have been a bit different in the Ever After lately. Tasked by the blacksmith, they were given a somewhat ambiguous quest. Find what feels wrong. When asked where to look, the blacksmith simply replied, do what your heart desires. Do what feels right. Still somewhat unsure of where to go, they first followed their hearts to the newly rebuilt acre of the genial gems.
Geno Gems.
Wow,
How the Gems doing?
everything looks so shiny. Excuse me. Excuse me. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary? They were somewhat sad to be ignored, but also marveled at the gems' concentration. You see, the gems once had a hero that helped them day in and day out. But because of that, they thought not of themselves. Aww. Oh, we do not mean to be rude. We're just busy, said a nearby gem. The more that we help ourselves now, the more we can help others in the future. I, however, am currently resting, an important part of physical activity, so I can assist you.
Aww.
It makes me happy to make you happy, the gem explained. It makes me less happy to tell you that we have seen no ordinary or out of ordinary things of late, just ourselves. Thank you. Next, their heart desired a sweeter smell. Did something bad happen here? I hope everyone is okay.
Hawkers?
Yes, they replied. But we've all come together, and because of that, we're stronger. Finding nothing
It's
wrong,
crazy how big someone
somewhat
is.
discouraged. Their heart led them nowhere. How may I assist you? The herbalist asked. Oh, we're not yet ready to return to the tree. We still have our purpose. I see. May I ask a small favor? There is an actor in need. Please, do what feels right.
The king, or the
This
prince.
place feels wrong. Guided not by their heart, but an actor in need, they entered the empty Crimson Keep. Typically ruled over by the loyal guards of the Red Prince, no such army appeared to be present. After searching and searching, they finally stumbled upon a lone occupant. The Red Prince himself.
No guards. They're
Where is everyone?
alone.
Without looking up, the prince muttered, I sent them away. How could one expect them to be ruled by someone like me? Who is someone like you? The prince's trance on the game piece finally broke, and the two locked eyes for the first time. You seem familiar. As do you. I wonder if we used to be friends. The prince smiled. I wonder. Please, sit. Let's play a game. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I have a job. As do I, the prince interrupted. And if you beat me, I'll happily help you with yours. So, what is your purpose? To win this game. That doesn't seem very fair. What if my purpose was to win too? Such is the way of our life. What if it doesn't have to be? I'm still new here, but I've met loads of afterends and people that have grown and found new things to do, even without going to the tree. Who knows? Maybe you could teach others to win. Speaking of, I won! I think. I'm sorry. After a long silence, the Red Prince finally spoke. Thank you for playing with me, little one. I've learned a lot. That felt right. It seemed that more than a somewhat big impression had been left on the prince.
Aww.
And there was one less wrong thing in the ever after. Their purpose complete, they desired nothing more than a rest after their grand adventure. Unfortunately, life is seldom as straightforward. That's when they saw someone that they were somewhat not prepared to see. You're back!
Huh? Wait. You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. Okay, I think that's implying Ruby. Maybe. It could be implying Neo. It could also be implying... No, I feel like it probably means Ruby. But I don't think it's the gods or... Like, I wonder who... Who could that imply? That's so much of a mystery, though, that there's... What? Wow! We actually have kind of a cliffhanger on that. But that was cute. That was cute with Somewhat and Juniper. And then kind of going back, and we kind of get a little bit more of the... I guess you could say an epilogue or some kind of like explanation of the war, what the Ever After happened after we left the Ever After. That's interesting, and I'm excited to see the answer to who or what Somewhat runs into. Okay, and now on to the final one. Ruby and Yang.
So, what exactly is this big surprise all about?
I wouldn't call it big exactly.
What? You've been hyping it up since
It's actually kind of small.
So, a small surprise.
It's more exciting than a surprise.
So, I should be excited.
But not too excited? Ugh, I don't know. Maybe it's dumb.
Got it. Setting expectations to moderate for a surprise that may or may not be cool.
Perfect.
Aww.
Why are you being weird?
I'm not weird. You're the weird one. It's just been a while since we got to do the sisterly thing.
Aww. It
To
has.
make this no fun, I probably just won't ever want to be sisters again. See how dumb that sounds? Ow!
Excuse me. Are you Ruby?
Yep. That's me. I'm a Ruby.
I'm the girl who sent the message. The one who brought the world together.
Oh my goodness, can we take a picture?
Oh, yeah, happily. Okay, Okay, where do you want to take it? Am I taking the photo? I am never getting used to that.
Still wanting those normal knees, huh? Personally, I think it's about time everybody knew how cool my sister is.
I never imagined all this. Here in Vacuo, they need...
Almost feels weird, like Ruby's so tall now, like she's almost about as tall as her sister.
It's not too much.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, gang? The boba.
So, is it the right amount of exciting?
Are you kidding? Why did you even downplay this?
I didn't think that.
Brought back so many memories.
Apparently they closed up shop and patch and relocated here with the rest of the refugees from Vale.
Remember how we used to come here with Dad after school?
It used to be a once-a-month treat, but by the time we were done at Signal, it was almost twice a week. Do you wonder why he's not here with everybody else?
What?
I know Crow said he's on assignment, but what's more important than here?
Maybe we don't have the full picture.
I don't know. Some things you just need to be there for.
Ty? Wait,
Ruby,
is he here or?
about what happened in the ever after.
Which part?
I don't need an explanation. I think I get it. It doesn't even matter if I do completely.
Dang,
I understand my part in you feeling like you couldn't talk to anybody about what you were going through. And that it's hard to even know what you're going through when you're in the middle of it. I just need you to know you're not alone. You can't be alone. Not with the world the way that it is. And not with what we and our team have all been through. We're not going back to the version of Team RWBY where you put everything on your shoulders. Where we put everything on your shoulders. From now on, we do it together.
As it turns out, the hardest thing about being a leader is asking for help. I thought it wasn't allowed. Thank you, Yang. Bad news, though. I still don't know how to do it.
Well, maybe we need a code word. So we know when we're feeling overwhelmed but don't know how to ask.
How about... Boba?
Yeah. Boba.
By the way, you promised you would go shopping like weeks ago. When's that happening?
That's your priority right now?
Aww. That's nice. Hey, that was a nice moment. That's kind of like, it definitely kind of answers, I won't say, and it's definitely like a moment I feel like we haven't gotten in a long time with Yang and RWBY actually being like siblings. I mean, there have been moments, but, and it's always interesting because I understand like Yang and RWBY, I'm not saying they weren't close, but you know, when you live with a sibling for a long time, you kind of do want to get away from them. You kind of want to be your own thing. You want to do your own stuff. And that's kind of, I'm not, like, very rarely do you want to be so close to a sibling. And I don't think, and I feel like, you know, when RWBY and Yang were on a team, they didn't like really split. They didn't have that distance, that moment to, I guess you could say, miss each other. That didn't really happen until Volume 5. Like, or Volume 3 and 5. Yeah. Yeah, basically there was that time where they finally got to miss each other and reunite. But yeah, definitely we need more, it's good to see that we're still getting these moments and that Yang is starting to, Yang is bringing back her like big sister, help out, all that sort of feeling. And oh my god, this again, it felt there was like some callbacks to like the second episode, the literal second episode of the show. with the chibi, RWBY freaking out over like something, and them just, oh man, it was so good. Yang being so proud of her sister, and there was a little, of course, there was that moment where it's like, okay, Tai Yang's not here. Do they mean like he's not here in Vacchio? But he's off like out in a mission or something right now? Or do they mean he hasn't come here, period? Like he's still like in Vale, Patch, the world, like something. Like, are you telling me he's not here? The only like kind of guess I have for that is that he's either avoiding Raven or although it probably would have been better to send Crow, but maybe they need Crow here. He's a teleporter Link. Like he's somebody that can go out there and whenever they need to send, like he's going somewhere that when they need to send Raven can teleport. Like basically that's what I think. You know what? That's probably what it could be. That's just a theory, but I was just like, why is he not here? What's his mission? That's probably it, because they have Raven and they need Raven to get them to places. That's smart. That'd be clever if that's what they're doing. But yeah, it's like, this is, I really hope we get these scenes in Volume 10, because these are some good scenes and this beautiful art style too. I love the kind of drawing, kind of I don't want to say like charcoal. It feels maybe a little kind of that kind of like chalk drawing, but it still feels like the storybook kind of feeling. But I do want to see this like with the animated expressions in the 3D version. It's definitely going to be fun to see. At the very least, like Jean's and RWBY and Yang's episodes. Those were very good. This was a very, very, very nice Beyond story. It's it's just kind of like, I can't wait to see the rest. But I'm just kind of like slowly hitting this realization about something just, it's goodbye on here. It is. It's not goodbye to RWBY, but it's goodbye to RWBY on here. And it was very, very good. Very good. Alright. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and I will see you there in the next episode of RWBY. Bye-bye.